G'day guys, how's it going? Alright, the postman has arrived today and he's delivered me a parcel. Whoa! There you go. Alright guys, so in this box is a Bell MX9 Adventure helmet. Now before I open this up, I've got some helmets here, which I'm going to explain the reason why I've picked this particular helmet. Now I know a lot of you guys out there on the previous video gave me lots of ideas and all that kind of stuff, but what I've basically done, I've stuck to what I know. I really love the MX9 helmet. So this doesn't come with it. Basically it's the same with a few little differences, but it doesn't have, the main thing for me was it doesn't have the visor. I was supposed to get that helmet, but I mistakenly got this one. So I'm going to run through a little bit of that stuff, and the main reason why I bought it, which is the weight. It's just super light, it's fantastic, and going from my old one, 400 grams was the difference in weight, and I can tell you what, 400 grams on your head makes a huge difference, especially when you're doing dual sporting, adventure stuff, you know, in the off-road. Now also to let you know what's coming up, what I'm going to be doing in this video. Alright guys, so what's going to come up in this video is we're going to quickly unbox that helmet. So it's the 2017 Bell MX9 Adventure and it's black, matte black. Now, we'll also quickly run through some of the features. I won't go into too much detail. I'm also going to talk about the helmets, the progression through this, and the reasons why I want that adventure helmet with that visor, why I want that for myself. Then we're going to head out and do a highway test, because that's going to be the difference for me between the MX9 and the MX9 Adventure, is when I'm on the highway. That's where I had the problem, and we'll discuss that. All right, let's get into it. Alright guys, so what comes in the box is basically a bag, and in the bag is a helmet, which we'll see in a minute. Also, we get these little things so that if you want to take the peak off and the visor, you can then plug those holes with those. And a sticker. Now that's where I got it from, mxstore.com.au. This is not a sponsored thing, I've just bought it off the internet. Rightio, so let's get it out. I've got to say, I really do like these bags. I don't actually, I find that, because I had the same one with that one, but I really don't use it. There will be times that I could use it. There we go. One helmet. Alright guys, so here's the rundown of the progression of helmets. So this was my first MX Adventure style helmet. I've had this for 4 years. It's just a cheap RJ's helmet. It's worked bloody fantastic. I've crashed in it plenty of times. My head's still intact. Now, this looks all old and crappy. I've made it that way. I've removed the visor that was on it, and it's been spray painted and all dirtied up. I used it for filming in the Mad Max postie bike thing that I'd done up, so disregard that. This weighs 1960 grams. So now I feel this and I go, Jesus, that's a really heavy helmet. At the time I had nothing to gauge on, so it was fine. It was a great helmet. But after 4 years I went, time to get a new one. So I was supposed to get this one, which is the MX9 Adventure, but mistakenly ordered just the MX9, which is this one. Now this one weighs, I think 1,570 grams. Now it doesn't sound like a lot, but I tell you what, when it's on your head, this is just super light compared to that. And it just makes the ride so much better. Now it doesn't have a visor, which was the big downfall for me. Now I'm quite happy to run with the goggles. Now I'm normally riding around, like, because I'm started off on the cruisers with an open face helmet and sunglasses, just not a problem. But I have the issue of the microphone. So when I was on highway speeds, it would interfere with the microphone and the talking, which was just making the video stuff annoyingly crappy. Another thing with this on highway speed, forgetting the microphone part of it, is that when that's in here, like that, you can see where the nose bit is here. What would happen is the air would just rush straight down there and it would be hitting me on my lips. So I'd get quite dry on the lips. When you're not on the highway, not a problem. It was no worries at all. Just to give you a comparison between the two, one thing I like about this, which I may not like about that one, is that this visor here, I can just move that. So if I get on the highway and this is actually up, I just do that, and that makes it more streamlined for when you're doing the high speed riding. Something I didn't like about this was that this part here, you couldn't close that vent there. It has vents on the side and vents on the back, the same as this one. These ones you can't shut off, and as you can see, I've actually taped over those. Now obviously this is an MX helmet. It's not something that you would use on the highway anyway. But yeah, so there you go. Alright, so now let's get into this one. Rightio, so here it is. This is the Bell MX9 Adventure. I paid $339 from mxstore.com.au. Now, you can get this for $299, exactly the same, 2017, but it'll have a graphic of some. They've got different types of graphics. Don't ask me why the graphic ones are cheaper than a plain matte black. Don't know the reason. You can get a 2016. I don't believe there's any difference between the two. Don't quote me on it. But they were going for like $289. I couldn't get it because they didn't have any of the medium-sized ones left. So I've gone and paid the premium amount, $339, to get matte black 2017 helmet. Rightio, guys. So venting on the front at the mouth, you've got a vent which is open and closable, which is fantastic. You've got two vents on the side, either side here. They're non-closable, so if you wanted to close them, you'd have to tape them up. Up the top here, we've got two inlets in there, and I think they call it like the exhaust. Well, the air goes in there, and then at the back here, exhausts out. There's also one vent there and one vent there. Now, all these vents are non-closable. The only vent that you can close is that one there. So pretty standard strap there. It's a D-ring strap. You've got your little push button, or not push button, a little clip to clip your access away, which I really like that. That was the same on the other helmet. The liner is all really nice. This is going to be exactly the same as what's in my other one, and I reckon it's top-notch stuff. It is all removed. You can pull it all out, wash it if you want to wash it. Now this actually has what they call a Mips system. So here it is, that's the Mips there, and if you see that, so if you don't have the Mips, that's what it looks like, and that's what it looks like if you do have the Mips. Basically they're saying against rotational violence. So if you hit, there's a liner in there that actually can move just a little bit, so it just takes that stuff out of it. Look it up if you want to know the full ins and outs of that. Alright, so on with this this peak. This peak, you can't move it. You have to actually, and there's no tool needed, you just undo this bolt. And what you end up with is, there is two spots that you can put it, but that's it. Now obviously if I go, so we can see this, put it on a bit of an angle. So that's in the fully back position, and then if we go to the front position, that's how much it's moving. So it's not a huge amount, but obviously it'll hopefully make that difference. So what I'm going to do now is I think I'm going to want it in that front. So I'm going to pull that one out. Bit of a bugger to get that in. Oh, there you go. Cool. And then we'll slide this one in here. So there we go. So that's now in that down position. Now I don't believe that down position is going to be any trouble for me, so almost probably that's the way it's going to stay. Rightio, so for the visor, you've got 3 stages, so you've got 1, 2, 3. It seems like a really nice fit down there. Obviously you can notice that this has got a lip on it. The reason why they have that lip is to make the shield as straight as possible, so you don't have that, what do you call it, optical bloody distortion. Now obviously I haven't even stuck this thing on my head yet, so I'm not going to really be able to give you full-on practical feedback until we jump out on the road. But so far it's looking pretty good. So that's pretty simple. Now, can we have goggles with it? And yes, you can. Basically put that on like that. They're in there. These go down like that. So that's like that. No problem whatsoever. So those straps go underneath that part there, no worries at all. So I was very happy to find that out. Rightio guys, I reckon I've pretty much covered the main stuff. Alright, all I've got to do now is put the bloody thing on. Beautiful. Now I can feel that's a whole lot more snugger, but as we know, that all loosens up. But that's perfect, absolute perfect fit for me. Beautiful, that's it. On, visor down. So now what I'm looking for is distortion. No. No distortion, cool. Ah, that actually seems a bit, be interesting to see how that works with gloves. There's not much of a lip there to grab hold of. Cool, now, try the goggles. Beautiful. Yeah, see that little thing there? That's going to be a little bit annoying, I think. Oh, what an idiot. I'll just use that. Cool. Alright, so that works. Alright, just give you a quick run around. Beautiful. Alright, let's get on the bloody bike. Rightio guys, so give this helmet a test. It's actually the next day. I had run out of time. I had to put the mic in and set the camera up and all that kind of bullshit, and then it just, the time got away from me. So we're now going to do this test. So I've got the visor open, the front mouthpiece is closed. The temperature is about 12 degrees. No, it's actually 13.5 degrees. Now I'm going to put this shield down, the visor, and of course straight away you sound like you're talking in a tank. The visuals on the visor are brilliant. I mean, I can't see any distortion whatsoever. I've got good peripherals. The helmet feels comfortable, and of course with the visor down, because I haven't had that for so long, it's just like instantly, oh my god, this is so warm. So I'm going to put this, hang on a minute, don't crush up the arse of this guy. So that's in stage 1 up for the visor, so I'm getting that air coming in on me, and I still got pretty good visuals except for where that lip part is, but I could ride like this. Stage 2, just basically getting more air, and then all the way up, no worries. What are we doing, about 70 k's? I can hear a slight whistle. Not a whistle, but just a noise with that up. Alright, I'm going to get up into the 100k zone and I'll come back to you guys. Rightio guys, so what are we doing? We're just 100 k's an hour,
and hopefully, I mean, I've got a lot of wind noise. I don't, you know, for me this is fairly normal. I mean, I've never had a really silent type helmet to kind of gauge how bad this is. But yeah, having a visor is certainly a bloody good option. Now, we've got to do some tests. I'll just get around this corner. So now I already know this is going to work alright because the other helmet's pretty much the same, but I've got pretty good look back, look down, make sure I get back up to that 100k. Now the lifting of the head. So you get to a certain point, which is about there, and you feel it pull, but it's not ripping your head back. And so I reckon that's got really good flow. Yeah, I reckon this is pretty good. Alright guys, hopefully this the sound has come out okay. Last night I quickly ran out and just I didn't have the bloody microphone set up properly. Alright guys, I'll might see you back at the man cave. Cool.
Well, there you go, guys. So that's the review of the MX9 Adventure helmet, the 2017. As you might have noticed in that thing, I've actually stickered this up. I also recovered those with the tape on there. So what did I think? I was quite happy with that peak, not being able to move it because in that lower position works brilliantly. The airflow through there, so when I was tilting my head like that, great airflow, so you're not going to have your head ripped off. The visor, that sealed really well. There was nothing coming through there whatsoever. The visuals on it, beautiful, peripherals. And the biggest thing for me was that it's just so lightweight. Yeah, and being able to open and close, that's a big bonus too. But of course for me, it was the microphone thing was the biggest thing, and the visor. All right guys, there you go. All right, keep on riding, and if you ain't riding, keep on keeping on.